Right, hi guys, Joel from Peach here, and I'm joined by our good friend from Eastman Guitars, Mr. Pepijn. Pepijn is going to talk about some of the Eastman guitars that we've chosen in this video, give you a little bit of an idea about the background of Eastman and the history of the company, and why people should be aware of this wonderful brand.
Well, I'd love to tell something. Thanks for having me. One of the things that that is special about Eastman is that we are one of the few companies out there that really build our instruments by hand. So we don't use machines. Also the fact that the company was founded originally as a violin builder is a very important part of our legacy and the way that we make our instruments to this day. We're the #1 in violin building in the world. So yeah, and with our guitars and mandolins, we greatly benefit from that because we got incredible timber, which is very important when you build an instrument, because it's all about using the right woods. So yeah, it's an incredible in company and an incredible instrument builder to be involved with.
And one thing that kind of strikes me is just the craftsmanship, you know, from the kind of the base models all the way up to the top end stuff that you guys do is always of, you know, it's the attention to detail. It really has got that real handcrafted element to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I always say our instruments are never flawless because a human hand is never flawless.
Because they're all made by hand. They're not
by people.
Yeah.
And if you go to the workshop in Beijing, one of the first things that I always see when I go there and what I hear is that there is no noise. That's so incredible, because if you don't have that very loud CNC machines, it's just a very nice atmosphere. People are really crafting with their tools, creating magic, because that's what we try to do.
Exactly. And I think, you know, the price point that Eastman fits in, you know, with us is kind of perfectly in the middle of some things, but it really kind of competes with the lower price models of, you know, particularly on some of the acoustics that anybody may be thinking about getting their first acoustic or something, they should definitely consider Eastman.
And it starts. The whole thing is that the whole philosophy of the brand is built on the fact that we want to create the best possible instrument for everybody. So not just a €6,000 or pound instrument, but an instrument that is just fit for everybody. So whether it's a PCH dreadnought guitar that starts at $299, or it is a handcrafted, and then the PCH is handcrafted at $2 as well, but a handcrafted archtop guitar, £3,500, and everything in between. Yeah,
and you know, the value for money is stunning on there, and it really kind of fits into the gap for a working musician. I find, you know, that you can.
As yourself?
Well, yeah, you know, I did. I fell for an Eastman last year, the T59, which I think we're going to see a bit later in this video. You feel like you're playing a guitar that's worth a lot more than the price tag.
Yeah, the way I always try to phrase this is we offer custom shop quality at standard pricing. And that really covers what we're all about. Just trying to create the best possible instrument, whether it's a mandolin, all solid handcrafted mandolin, or it's a solid body SB59. We just try to create the best possible instrument with the best possible parts, whether it's Lolar or whatever.
The whole kind of vibe across the company, you know, there's a real enthusiasm, and I think that comes across in the guitars, and you know, and that definitely helps, you know. So yeah, we've picked a few of our favourite Eastmans from what we have in stock at this point in time. So the first one we're going to start with is the SB57, which is at the back here. We've got Jack to play these. And we've put this little video together. So do you want to talk about the SB57?
Yeah, SB57 is a new finish that we introduced last year. It's a vintage nitro. Personally, as I always found that the really gloss black instruments, the piano black instruments, they were a little bit too new for me. So we decided to take off a couple of layers of the nitro and do not buff them as much as we used to do it. So it's not as shiny. And then you add some aged golden hardware, which is also take off a little bit of the shininess. It's got two Lolar custom wound Imperial humbuckers. It's got aged Goto hardware. It's a monster guitar, so take it away, Jack.
next one we've picked from the Eastman range is the T59V, which I'm fortunate enough to own myself.
Yeah.
It sounds a little better in Jack's hands, I think. But
But well, I don't know about that, because I played yours today with the treble bleed that you added, which was really interesting. I think the T59, it really is. Well, I think it's probably the best sold Eastman at Peach. You gotta have something to do with that. Promoting that model. But it's a thin line with a center block, a beautiful flamed laminate. It's got Seymour Duncan and Tickety humbuckers, and it really does the job. So yeah, well, let's Jack take it away again.
Great. So the next one we've picked is the T58, which is a kind of a slightly, maybe say, off the wall kind of design. I really like the look of this one.
Yeah, it's the great thing about this guitar is it's got a hand carved solid top. So it really started out as a jazz guitar with a hand carved solid top and a laminated maple back and sides. And the carved top gives so much substance to the sound. And if you combine that with the USA TV Jones classic pickups, the sound with the Bixby is everything you expect from a guitar like that.
So next up we've picked the T184 in a beautiful gold burst.
Yeah, again a guitar that has a hand carved solid top, a solid maple top in this case, and the back is also solid mahogany, which gives it a very wooden sound. So for instance, one of the people that we're very proud that uses this guitar is John Harrington from Steely Dan. We're currently working on a signature model, but he's using this guitar as we speak on the road with the tour with Steely Dan. So that's gives you a pretty good idea how this guitar can sound. Again, with Lollar Imperial humbuckers, and Otto D'Ambrosio designed a really beautiful small headstock on this one, and we added the beautiful gold burst color. So I think yeah, this one's definitely a winner.
Great, let's have a listen. the acoustics that we've picked out. The first one is the 00 SSV.
Yeah, the 00 SSV is probably the first acoustic guitar that we did in the antique varnish. So the finish is hand rubbed, then it gets antiqued, and then a clear violin varnish goes on top of that. And the beauty is with the antique varnish is that it takes away anything between you and the wood of your guitar. So it's a small body guitar, but it's got so much presence, and it speaks to you as if you were playing a 1930s acoustic guitar that has aged properly, and all the tones that you want to get from an instrument like that will come out of it immediately the moment you buy it, so you don't have to wait those 70 years. This one got picked Guitar of the Year in 2017 in Guitar Magazine, so it's a winner as well.
Cool, let's hear what it's all about. Cool, and then last up, we've got the brand new DT30 OM, which we saw at NAMM when we met you at NAMM this year.
Absolutely.
So yeah, tell us what it's all about.
This was our talk of the town this year. NAMM 2019, our biggest launch was the double top acoustic guitars. The first time that we added a double top to an acoustic guitar, a steel string guitar, because the double top has been used on classical guitars much more often. But not as many, or almost never, on a steel string guitar. And the project took us about 2 years. Just a little explanation about the double top. It's got two very thin layers of Sitka spruce veneer, really thin. It's a very expensive veneer, by the way. And in between there's a Nomex honeycomb pattern. And the Nomex honeycomb, the Nomex is actually comes from space technology, which is the complete opposite of everything we do. But it has all kinds of very small, like air chambers. And we press it together, vacuum, so it becomes a really, really sturdy and strong top. It vibrates like no other, and it's 30% lighter than a regular top. Wow. So the guitar is very light, and we are so incredibly fortunate about the fact that in 3 countries reviews came out of the OM that Jack's gonna play, but also the Grand Auditorium Cutaway and the Dreadnought, and we all got 9 out of 10 reviews, and they were absolutely raving, and we're so thankful that these guitars, which is a leap forward for us, are being acknowledged for what they are. Yes, a forward thinking.
Because it's kind of a big risk, really, isn't it, to do something that kind of radical to
because it's so different. Because if you play the OM, and you will hear it when Jack plays it, it doesn't sound like a regular OM. So if you think that you're playing an OM, no, it's got so many rich harmonics. It's got the lows, the highs, the mids, and it speaks. One of the things that we always say, it amplifies your sound, the double top. So if you put 10% of energy in the guitar gives you back 30% more. So that's really something that people will like when you try the double top.
Excellent, let's have a listen. We're going to have all 3 of the double tops in at Peach in the very near future. Yeah. And there's been some pretty good press on the double tops already.
And Guitarist Magazine this month really did a great job on the Grand Auditorium cutaway model, and this actual model is with you guys at the moment. And we were so extremely proud by this piece, because if you have phrases like "close your eyes and you'd swear you were holding a vintage D28," the dynamic range is stunning.
So that's some high praise.
Those are phrases. The one who's picking up the guitar at Peach is definitely going to pick up the magazine one, and the magazine will be in the case.
Absolutely, fantastic. So yeah, we have a huge range of Eastmans in stock. We just wanted to kind of draw your attention to this wonderful brand, you know. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for popping in, Pepijn. Okay. That's not easy to say.
No, you do a great job. He played so many times in Holland that his Dutch is almost better than mine.
I'm not even gonna try. Okay. Dank u wel.
There you go.
We go.
Okay, thanks
a lot. Take care.